Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I would like to read you an article about someone who had their sex videos posted to the internet after sending their phone directly to Apple for a repair. This is not something that is new. There was an Apple Store employee that texted himself pictures from a customer phone, and this is in a 2-year-old article in the Washington Post. And now we have another article in Telegraph over here about someone not just leaking sex videos, but leaking it in a manner where it seemed like the person who owned the phone intended for everybody else to see this. So it wasn't even just like here, I'm just going to dump everything from this person's phone. It was done in a manner where it kind of seemed like they did it on purpose, which is incredibly malicious. Now, the reason that I bring this up is because when it comes to right to repair, a lot of the opposition arguments are that you don't understand. If Lewis gets access to a charging chip so that when the charging chip dies inside your laptop, he can actually make it charge again without charging you $1,500, you don't understand. If you allow Lewis to buy the chips that go in your computer, then he's going to breach your privacy. He's going to install TikTok on your phone. He's going to, go through your stuff and breach your data and hack you. And you may think that these arguments are ridiculous. You may think that this is insane. This is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But the reality is that these arguments work. And the reason I know they work is because I just finished up a focus group recently, 4 of them actually, and that was one of the arguments that seemed to resonate a lot with voters, the data privacy argument. A lot of people thought that the anti-right to repair argument was made stronger by the argument for data privacy and the independents are going to hack into your stuff. And it makes me sad that that's the case, but that's the reality. Now, one of the things that I've always said on this channel, I've always pushed back against this. I don't accept the premise of it because I don't believe, just like they used to say that there's going to be this magic Soviet man that's not motivated by the incentive structures that are inherent in the rest of human society, that there's the authorized man. And the authorized man can never be a creep. You understand? Even when you're hiring tens of thousands, of hundreds of thousands, of millions of people, no authorized man will ever be a creep. That's just never going to happen. You're never going to have a creep that you're not able to detect during your normal interview process. Because the authorized man, well, he's just a different type of human. Once they start working at the authorized facility, they just modify your DNA and remove the creepy from you. I've always thought that this is absolutely ridiculous. And the reality is that we have creeps out there in the world, and just like there's a likelihood that I could miss something and hire someone who's a creep, Apple can, and so can their contractors. So let's get on to this. So a few years ago, again, this is the article where an Apple Store employee texted themselves photos from a phone. And here it says Apple pays millions to a woman after explicit photos were posted online. Technicians posted the private photos and video from her iPhone after she sent it to Apple for repair, according to legal documents. Apple paid millions of dollars to a student after iPhone repair technicians posted explicit photos and videos from her phone to Facebook, legal documents have revealed. The tech giant agreed to a settlement with the 21-year-old after 2 employees at a repair facility uploaded the images from a phone she had sent to Apple to be fixed, resulting in severe emotional distress. The incident, which occurred in 2016 at a center in California run by Pegatron, an Apple contractor, is one of the most significant privacy violations to be revealed at an iPhone repair facility. So let's just get this straight. So the most significant privacy violation to be repealed at pretty much any iPhone repair facility happened at an Apple contractor that was authorized and certified by Apple to work on customer products. Let that sink in. That should be the headline of many, many other articles that get shared everywhere. And we're not the ones that opens this Pandora's box. Independent repair technicians were not the ones saying, you need to come to us. Don't go to Apple. They'll steal your data. We never tried to use fear, uncertainty, and doubt to get people to use us over the manufacturer. We simply offered our services, we gave our price and our turnaround time, and we allow the customer to decide from there. Apple has often argued that its control over how its devices can be fixed helps to protect customers' privacy, lobbying against legislation that would make it easier for third parties to fix its electronics. Legal filings show that the unnamed victim, a university student in Oregon, sent her phone to Apple after it had stopped working. While it was being fixed, the 2 technicians posted 10 photos of her in various stages of undress and a sex video from her Facebook account in a way that suggests that she uploaded them herself. Let's go over that. So not only did they leak her data, they leaked her data in a manner where it just kind of seemed like it was done on purpose. So it wasn't here, go, download this torrent and you can check out everything on Lewis's hard drive. It would be like if somebody had actually hacked into my YouTube account and uploaded a sex video on my drive to my channel so it looked like I intended for you to see it. So that's another step of malicious that needs to be understood here. So it's not just creepy, but it's creepy and more malicious than it needs to be, which is really going far given the situation. The images were only removed after friends informed her they had been posted. The exact size of the settlement was not disclosed, but was described in filings as a multi-million-dollar sum, and that lawyers for the individuals had demanded $5 million in negotiation. Lawyers for the victim had threatened to sue for invasion of privacy and infliction of emotional distress, and had warned of the negative media publicity that would accompany a lawsuit. The settlement included a confidentiality provision that prevented her from discussing the case or revealing the size of the payout. The incident emerged during a legal dispute between Pegatron, which had reimbursed Apple for the settlement, and its insurers, which in turn refused to foot the bill. Again, insurance never foots the bill for anything, so that shouldn't be surprising. So it looks like Pegatron screwed up. The woman sued Apple. Apple paid the woman. Apple then turned around to Pegatron and said, okay, you now got to pay us because you screwed up. And then Pegatron went to their, I don't know, maybe they had screw-up insurance or something, and their screw-up insurance decided not to pay. Apple was only recently named the customer during a separate unrelated lawsuit against the iPhone maker, and the company confirmed the incident to the Telegraph. So it looks like here Apple may have sued their contractor over this. Their breach happened at a Pegatron facility in a suburb of the California city of Sacramento, where Apple has a substantial presence. In legal filings, Apple had argued that making details of the settlement public could irreparably harm it and cause substantial business harm. Of course it would, because Apple has based their entire business model when it comes to repair on the idea that your data is safe with them and unsafe with us. They're the ones, through their lobbying, that made data privacy and security when you go to one of those vagabond Rossmann groups or iPad rehabs an issue. So, yeah, obviously it would hurt them really badly because, to my knowledge, Jessa and I have not had anybody, from our store just go through customers' data and upload it willy-nilly, yet this has happened not once, but twice with Apple. The incident triggered an exhaustive investigation by Apple, according to the filings, with the two individuals responsible for posting the images fired. The case was dismissed after Pegatron and the insurers settled privately. Apple, as well as trade groups representing the company, have argued against right-to-repair laws that campaigners say would make it easier for independent technicians to fix devices, claiming that this would jeopardize safety or privacy. The company told the U.S. committee in 2019 that its oversight of iPhone repairs ensures a safe and reliable repair. An Apple spokesman said, "We take the privacy and security of our customers' data extremely seriously and have a number of protocols in place to ensure data is protected throughout the repair process. When we learned of this egregious violation of our policies at one of our vendors in 2016, we took immediate action and have since continued to strengthen our vendor protocols." Now, at the end of the day, do I think that people should not go to Apple because going to Apple for repairs is unsafe when it comes to their data? Of course not. They have tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of employees at these facilities, and at some point in time, they will hire the wrong person that does some creepy manipulative shit. That's just the way it is. I wouldn't say that independent repair is unsafe just because one employee at a U-Break iFix or one employee at some crappy franchise decided to go through a customer's data and upload it. Because bad things happen on an isolated basis does not mean that we need to just throw out the entire practice altogether because there was this one isolated incident. That being said, it's about time that we stop with the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Stop with these arguments being used. Because at this point, this isn't one data breach. This is two data breaches, and they were both of embarrassing personal stuff. Again, we're not talking about they took your credit card number and they bought gas with it. We're talking about they uploaded sex videos to social media and texted themselves pictures, raunchy sexual pictures from someone's cell phone. That's disgusting, and this did not happen at Rossmann Repair. This did not happen at, Joe's Repair down the street. This happened when they sent the device to Apple. There is no such thing as the authorized man, the authorized Soviet man that is just above all other types of men. When someone goes to work at Apple, they don't remove the creep part from your DNA. That's not the way any of this works. They are hiring from the same pool of flawed, crazy, screwed up individuals as the rest of us. And when you're hiring hundreds of thousands of people, at some point, when you're hiring hundreds of thousands of people, one of them is going to be a creep. and they're going to do stupid shit. This is not the first time this has happened. This is the second. And it's not the last. There'll be a third, a fourth, and a fifth. And there will be times when independent repair shops likely, sadly, I hate to say it, do the same thing. Because you cannot remove all elements of degeneracy from a society overnight. It's just not going to happen. You can't stop car crashes from happening. You can't stop people from getting sick and dying. You can't stop any of this stuff. I mean, you could try to prevent it. You can do things to try and stop it from happening, and we can put in place practices and procedures and do everything we can to disincentivize this from occurring. But it's never going to stop. There's always going to be someone out there who's screwed in the head who does something like this. And what I think we really need to get out there to people is that when you go to the dealer, okay, they may use different parts, they may have a different repair procedure, but at the end of the day, they're no better at filtering out creeps than any of us. And I think it's really important that stuff like this show up in the news, and I think it should show up more prominently in the news, because the strongest argument against right to repair, when we put the opposition arguments and the for right to repair arguments in front of all different demographics of people, tech savvy, untech savvy, upper class, lower class, old, young, the privacy argument hit almost every group. The data privacy and hacking and all of that. That if you go to the independent, they're going to screw around and get your data, but that's not going to happen at the manufacturer. And that's just demonstrably with evidence at this point, not true. Not trying to bash on Apple here, because as I'm saying, this is eventually going to happen to an independent repair center. It will happen. People are sick bastards, and at some point, some repair center out there is going to hire a sick bastard. But to pretend that it only happens at independents and doesn't happen at Apple, that's something that they're doing. And since they're the ones that made these statements, they're the ones that are putting data privacy and security on the table as a reason to not have right to repair, I think it's really important that we keep pointing out that they're so far the only ones that have had an issue like this, not us. I haven't seen an independent repair shop make the front page of Telegraph or the Washington Post because they uploaded sex videos of their clients. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. And if you have an idea in the comments on how we can get this kind of message across to more people, because this was the point in every focus group that really seemed to hit every group, even legislators, do let us know. Really, we need to get the word out to people that this data privacy and security argument is just complete made-up bunk, and that if we have access to a charging chip or a screen or anything like that's not going to make us any more likely to upload sex videos from customer phones. All right. See you on the next one. Bye now.